Take a moment and picture this. What if the Roman Empire, one of the most powerful and influential civilizations ever, never collapsed? How different would our world look today? Think about borders, languages, cultures, and religions. Would everything be totally different? Let's take a trip into an alternate history. A world where Rome never fell and still stands strong. We'll mix real history with some imagination and try to picture what the modern world might look like if the Roman Empire were still around. Part 1. Why did the Roman Empire fall? First, let's take a quick look back at what actually happened. Rome didn't fall in a day. Its decline was slow and complicated. There were economic struggles. The empire spent huge amounts of resources defending its vast borders. Internal political chaos. And there were constant invasions from outside groups. When the Western Roman Empire collapsed in 476 AD, Europe entered a dark period. Central authority vanished, laws broke down, and trade all but collapsed. Many historians think Europe's progress, technological and cultural, was set back by almost 1,000 years. So the fall of Rome wasn't just the end of a state. It completely changed the course of human history. But what if that turning point never happened? Part 2. The alternative timeline begins. Now let's imagine things went differently. The Roman Empire does not collapse. Instead, in the 5th century, Rome transforms itself instead of collapsing. Rome enters a period of major reforms. Taxes get simpler. Supply networks are improved. Roads stretch even farther across the continent. Instead of fighting so-called barbarian tribes, Rome welcomes them into its army. Education gets a makeover and becomes more consistent across the empire. Innovation keeps moving forward. No big setbacks. Aqueducts, engineering, medicine, all grow stronger. Rather than falling into the Middle Ages, Rome enters an early Renaissance. Picture a Europe united under one stable government. Less fighting between neighbors. More trade happening everywhere. Scientific discoveries happening much faster. In this alternate world, civilization might be centuries ahead of where we are now. Part 3. The modern Roman state. Let's jump ahead to the present. It's 2025. And Rome still stands. But it's not just called Rome anymore. Today, people call it the Pan-Latin Federation, a massive superpower. Picture this. Most of Europe, North Africa, the Mediterranean, and parts of the Middle East are all united under one government. So what would this world look like? 1. Language. Latin becomes the global language. Instead of English, the language uniting the world today would be Latin. Science, politics, and law all use Latin as their base. 2. Cities. Roman architecture meets modern technology. Picture modern Roman cities. Giant marble arches, pillars, and domes right next to gleaming skyscrapers. Instead of gladiators, you'd see Roman-inspired security teams in sleek armor patrolling the streets. The Senate? Now it's a high-tech complex buzzing with holograms and digital debates. 3. Law. An expanded Roman legal system. Roman law is already the backbone of most modern legal systems. But if Rome never fell, we'd probably follow one universal legal code across the whole continent. More organized, more open, and way faster. 4. Technology. Early industrialization. Rome was way ahead of its time with machines and water systems. With no collapse to slow things down, technology would have taken off much sooner. We might have seen steam engines chugging along in the 90s, factories and mass production by the 11th century, cities lighting up with electricity in the 1500s, space exploration kicking off in the 1700s. Rome might have even put the first colony. On Mars, 5. Culture, a global Roman identity. Everyone in the empire would call themselves Roman, no matter where they're from. They'd all use one currency, the aureum digitalis, and they'd fly one flag, a golden eagle on crimson. Part 4. How would world politics change? If Rome never fell, the world stage would be totally different. 1. The Anglo-Saxon world would be much smaller. Britain and Germany would have stayed part of the Roman world for much longer. Even the United States might feel a lot more Latin than it does now. 2. Rome versus Carthage, a new Cold War. While Rome ruled the world, a powerful Carthaginian confederation in North Africa could have risen up as its main economic rival, a Cold War-style standoff, just like the US and Soviet Union. 3. The tech race, Rome versus China. With Western progress never disrupted, Rome would be the world's tech leader, and its fiercest rival would be a continuous Chinese dynasty. Part 5. Life in a modern Roman Empire. Even the little details of daily life would be totally different. We'd still use the Julian calendar to track the year. Buildings would be made of advanced Roman concrete, not the stuff we use today. You'd find giant public bathhouses and spas in every city. Roads would be the most advanced on Earth. School would focus on Latin, rhetoric, and logic. You might even greet your neighbors with "Salve civis." In the end, imagining a world where Rome never fell is more than a simple thought experiment. Thinking about a world where Rome never fell isn't just an interesting idea. It really makes you realize how minor changes in history can ripple out to completely change the future of humanity. When we picture a scenario in which this powerful empire didn't collapse, we're pushing the boundaries of our imagination and reflecting on how fragile our own world is. It also makes you think about all the different directions history could have taken. So, what if one empire could have shifted everything? What moments in our own lives right now might someday transform the future? It's a reminder of how the smallest shifts in history can reshape the entire future of humanity. By exploring an empire that never collapsed, we're really exploring the limits of our own imagination, the fragility of our world, and the countless paths history could have taken. So ask yourself, if one empire could have changed everything, what moments of our present might one day reshape the future?